From the stellar regions of the soul.
Oh, you're doing that vocal thing. Can I get it again? Can I get it again? I mean, we got the keys out here. You want to just jump on the keys and like play it over? I'm faking it. Faking it. I'm gonna be talking about this Common project a little early on, a little later on. But I saw this, I had a lot of hope. But we'll get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jason Roberts, aka Conquest.
I'm Marianne Aparicio, aka Ari. I was in the middle of that jam just now, and he completely shut it off.
We're gonna get back.
This, just so you guys know, this is a Conquest central episode. And do you want to give them the title of this episode?
Yeah. So first and foremost, welcome to your Deprogrammed Podcast, where you're here for your very special, regularly scheduled deprogramming. And yeah, it's a conquest segment, but not really. I'm gonna bring Ari in a lot. She may not even realize how much she's gonna be brought in, but she's gonna be brought in a lot, right?
I just don't have any idea.
Okay, cool. You gotta trust me. I got you.
It's
so
like a gumbo pot right now. It's gumbo. It's gumbo.
It's gumbo. Mm-hmm. So what it is that this is the part of this episode where we talk about the best music that I personally heard in 2024 that Ari definitely has been privy to in certain cases, but I run the gamut of it, right? So I'm going to be breaking that down, and how we got here is very important, right? So everybody knows, if you've been watching the podcast or know me, that I'm a hip-hop artist who's Christian, or a Christian hip-hop artist, whichever lingo you prefer, and an avid music nerd, lover, aficionado, whatever the case, right? And so how we got here was that, as you know, Adam, a really good friend of ours, Brian Jensen, he released an album in 2024 known as Road Less Taken. In his caption, in promoting the album on Instagram, he mentioned that, hey, this is an album that he's been waiting since he was a kid to make, and that he wanted his project to be seen and esteemed as one of the classics. Now, classic, that is a word that artists use all the time, and I think half the time they don't know what they're saying. Right? So I wanna establish the template of what you're gonna witness for the next hour or so, right? There are good albums, great albums, excellent albums, and then there are classics, and then there are masterpieces. Now,
5 levels.
5 levels, right? As far as an album not being bad or mediocre or trash, right? The 5 levels are good, great, excellent.
Classic.
Then we get into classic and masterpieces. Now, in my personal opinion, for someone who has listened to music, God knows how long, at least 4 decades, right?
Tell your age, Conquest. Don't tell your age.
Hey, it's whatever. It's whatever. We're gonna get into that. So my thing is this. Classics, pretty much most of that all the time, are masterpieces, but not every masterpiece is a classic. So masterpiece to me is like a tier below, but they could be 1A, 1B. So let me explain. So for me, a classic album is an album that not only is done exceptionally by the artist in terms of the production, the musicality, the performance, vocally, whatever it is, musically as well, but it's an album that threatens to do what most music has never done before. It changes the landscape of music. It influences a multitude of artists throughout generations. It is one of those things that you remember where you were, where you heard it, or you remember the scene before or after it. That's what a classic to me is. It is what artists dream of, what we hope for, what we aspire to. A masterpiece is somewhat of the same thing, except that it may not necessarily be groundbreaking or evolution or revolutionary changing in its content, but it's extremely well done. It's like, it could be something that may have been done before, but the way this person did it
was special.
Yeah, went to a higher place. And if it lands in the classic area, then great. You know what I'm saying? But it may not necessarily, it could be at the very least a cult classic. Like for me, I'm gonna give you a quick example. To me, since it's recent, at the time that we record this, which is late December, J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hills Drive, to me, is closer to a masterpiece than it is a classic. I think it's a cult classic.
I agree by your definitions.
Right?
Masterpiece, yeah.
Okay. Because there's some imperfections in there, and it's.
And I think of if I could pin it on your definition, maybe masterpiece is less historical than classics. Like classics are basically timepieces. Like, be studied throughout the genre's history.
Right.
As opposed to a masterpiece that's great for the era it's in, but it might be kind of forgotten.
Ooh, you cooking. Where's your apron? You cooking.
It's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
Which is in the back.
Right? It's cooked. Yes, that's actually well said. So, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that's well. I told you you're going to be in this. So J. Cole, I feel, has that with 2014 Forest Hill Drive, right? A classic to me is more along the lines of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from Kanye West, or 808s and Heartbreaks.
Graduation.
Or Purple Rain.
Or Purple Rain. Oh, we were talking about Stevie Wonder earlier. His
Songs in the Key of Life.
Songs in the Key of Life.
Classic. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Classic. Oh, so we talking Phil Collins, Genesis. You know they got a couple of classics somewhere in there. They got some stuff.
In the Air Tonight.
You know, classic record. There we go. Yeah. Don't Stop Believing, classic record. Right? Yeah. Billie Jean, classic record. We can go on and on, right?
Yeah,
and you'll get the point.
You're telling our age is being exposed as we keep talking.
We timeless. I don't care about it.
Yeah, right. It's timeless, so never mind. We young,
right? So here's the deal with that, right? With me knowing that, I saw what Adam was saying when he talked that classic talk, so I had to put his album against the field. Now, for those who may or may not know, Adam is a Christian hip-hop artist like myself, or a hip-hop artist that's Christian. But I didn't want to just put his album against other Christian hip-hop records. I put it against all the hip-hop records that came out for the year that were provided by lyricists, right? So I started deep diving because of that. But after the whole Adam thing was over, I realized I had all this music I listened to, and I figured, well, I might as well just follow through with the task. Like, listen, let me figure out what was the best albums produced by lyricists this year, secular or Christian, if you want to define it that way, right? And I listened to nearly 30 albums, right? And I narrowed it down.
3-0.
Yeah, 3. I totally listened to 30 albums. That's definite.
From beginning to end.
Yes, in certain cases, multiple times.
Bonus tracks?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Live music. Now,
full-time musician, ladies and gentlemen. Full-time.
Right. Well, the thing is that the tough thing about this is that I did this in a very small window. There was a lot of music that came out this year, starting as far back as January till obviously this month, December. Usually the best way to do it is if I just listen to those things when they dropped at the time. But I was catching up on a lot of material. Like, there's an album that I finally listened to in the lower half of this year that came out in January. I hadn't heard it prior, so I was just kind of like cramming all this music down in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So otherwise it would have been a much easier task, but it was an enjoyable task. I was blessed in the fact that I found that 2024 had incredible music this year. I think it was a banner year for hip hop in a lot of ways. So I listened to 30 albums and I narrowed it down to a top 15. Right? But before we get to that, I want to do some outliers.
Okay.
Right?
So is this honorable mentions?
Well, yes, in a way. So, me being the music fan that I am, I didn't just listen to hip hop this year. I listened to other forms of music, and of course, the one dominating one is like hard rock, metalcore, all the subgenres in between. And then there's another album that came out that we're gonna hear 1 or 2 tracks from that you would be very interested in hearing. I mean, you're interested in hearing everything, but this one, yeah. And you might give us some backstory on that. So, all right. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So I want to talk about. We won't get the metal stuff out the way.
Okay, so
Right.
we're going, before we even hit number 15 on your list, we're doing honorable mentions / the outliers.
Yes. Honorable mentions plus the outliers. Yes. So this would be like an outlier in a way, right? So Ari's never heard this group or seen this group ever. I don't think. I love this. I love this already.
I'm a little worried, guys. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. This is gonna be a shock to the senses. So one of my favorite groups, favorite bands rather, is a band known as Knocked Loose. Knocked Loose dropped an album this year with the title, I don't want to mess the title up, but the name of the album is called You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to.
I like that title.
Yeah, it's a crazy title, right? Knocked Loose, I think that they have been adventurous and forward-thinking in the way that they do their brand of metalcore, punk, that whole vibe. And they made a very large impression this year outside of their own genre. And to the point that they appeared on the Jimmy Kimmel Show to do their hit song from that project, which we're gonna play. And it caused quite a stir.
Okay.
Caused quite a stir. Now,
He's good for the previews, guys.
Yeah.
If you couldn't tell already.
quite a stir. So the name of the song I'm going to play really quick is a track called Suffocate. And it's a Knocked Loose single featuring this young lady known as Poppy. Now, Poppy looks like this very innocent looking young lady. And her music up to this point is very multi-genre. She'll do electro one time, she'll do pop one time, but lately she's been doing some other things. And she has a very, I think she became a star on YouTube. She has a very weird persona. It's like, it's almost like she moves and acts like a robot. Yeah, it's like even when she does interviews, she has this very like deadpan smiling kind of thing. It's kind of creepy, low-key, but it's kind of interesting. So apparently Poppy's been getting into the heavier side of things, making impact in that wave, and Poppy was a fan of Knocked Loose. Their album was done, and she said, hey, I love your music, I really want to do a song with y'all. They jumped at the chance, and it's like, so rather than tack her on to a song that they'd already done, they create a whole new record, and it ended up being their biggest song from the album. So we gonna get into it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Never say no to a collab.
Never say no to a collab. You never know. In fact, it earned them a Grammy. They're Grammy nominated. So this is the Grammy nominated Knocked Loose.
Great for me, guys. Ladies and gents.
All right, so let me see if I can pull it up. Knocked Loose, Suffocate. Okay, let's see if it worked. Okay. So my question is this. Do you want the live version or do you want the studio version?
Whichever one you laugh at the thought of me listening to.
Knocked Loose, Suffocate.
Let's do the Jimmy Kimmel version.
Yeah, you see, here we go. Let's do it.
Why she look so sad?
Definitely the best metal group for this year, no question. Suffocate. Yeah. You okay? That's the next one coming up. So what do you think?
I think we're gonna keep this part in for you to hear. I'm gonna wait for you to do post-production to see where my eyeballs went. The whole time you were fixated on the video and just doing this. They saw how I looked. I looked at you at least 3 times.
Yeah.
I did a couple faces. And I gave a worried look somewhere. I'm pretty sure I gave a worried look somewhere. So I'm gonna put this over on you. So, honorable mention.
Yeah.
Wow. How does it fit in? What metrics did you use? How are we doing those things? I think that's
I just, again, well, the metrics I'll get into when it comes to the hip hop stuff, but these was just, again, like, I listened to a fair amount of metal, probably not everything that came out this year, but I do know the albums and the projects that came out that people talked about, and Knocked Loose was definitely one of them. And I knew that their music was what it was from before. So when I heard that that they had that song out or the project was out, I was like, yo, sign me up. I almost went to see them with my daughter when they opened up for Slipknot at Madison Square Garden. So yeah, and I think the cool thing about that particular record is just like the little, obviously is the crushing riffs and the wild time signature changes, but the little reggaeton thing he threw in there, like it's just like, oh, okay, like dope. Love that they just threw that in there, because that makes sense. Like, why not throw a kind of percussive hip hop beat in there and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Because you got everything else going on. So and I thought that Poppy vocally, like, I've never heard her scream like that, and I think that she matched Brian's, the lead singer's vibe. I've heard a lot of reactions to it, and a lot of them liking them as brother and sister. It's like they look like they related. Yeah. Especially in the video, the way that they were dressed, it was like big brother.
Too. Yes. Yeah, big brother, little sister.
Yeah, it definitely gave that vibe. So their chemistry was really unmatched on that. So that was Suffocate, Knocked Loose, featuring Poppy. So that's, in my opinion, best metal song. And I heard the album. I think it was the best metal album I heard this year. But very close. We gotta talk about Comeback Metal of the Year. And you're gonna love this. Because in my opinion, and I want you to talk about your feeling when you heard that they were back. The comeback metal group of the year is Linkin Park. No question. No question. They got.
Listen to their album too.
Yeah. From Zero, incredible. How'd you feel about it? What was that? You know how it was like for me. I was.
Just another album where if you're of a certain age, it just feels really good.
It does.
Chester passed away.
Chester Bennington.
I would say how many years ago? About 8 years ago.
I I want to say it goes back as far as 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
July 20th, 2017.
2017. Yeah. And I've rarely seen bands come together like a family, and Linkin Park has always felt like a family. And I really felt they titled the album From Zero because they really are starting over.
I agree.
They were completely broken when Chester passed away. And I'm appreciative as a fan that they took their time to basically
craft this record.
Craft it, but also heal.
Yeah.
And then come back with an album. I think, that's a perfect category for them. Comeback, honestly, and I would put them in any genre. It doesn't even have to be metal. Like, just a comeback album for any artist. I don't think I was more excited for anyone coming back than the way that Linkin Park came back.
I agree.
And you have to educate me on her name.
Emily Armstrong.
Emily Armstrong is a
perfect in her role. Yeah.
Is a beast. For people who are still off of it, no, she's not replacing Chester. They have already done the PR around that.
Yep.
She stands in a lane of her own, and as you guys are about to hear, or ladies and gents are about to hear, she's phenomenal. And she fits so well with their group.
Yeah.
And again, it brings back a family vibe. Like, they weren't willing to go forward unless they felt that family vibe and fans could feel it. And I could definitely feel it. And I felt it throughout the whole album.
Yeah.
My kids memorized maybe 3 to 4 songs from this album.
Listen.
And I like that because it's minimal cursing.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a phenomenal album. Comeback, I would say, period.
Comeback, period, for sure. I think that they are responsible for one of the better albums of the year. I think that The Emptiness Machine is definitely rock metal song of the year, for sure. Perfectly crafted metal pop rock song. Your son is obsessed with it. Probably added like a good 1,000 views to it already.
My baby, if Linkin Park tunes in, not for me, if we can just get a backstage pass for him, I will just chaperone. I won't say a word. In fact, I'll come with a veil over my head just so y'all won't have to give me a ticket, really.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be freaking out behind the veil, but I won't say nothing. I'm just gonna be chaperoning him, but he would love it. He has been
advocating.
Man. Every day we wake up. Emptiness machine. In the car. Emptiness machine. Yes. Word for word, he knows that song. And it's great. It's great.
Well, listen, we're not going to play The Emptiness Machine now, but what we are going to play,
This is why I told you this is CONQUEST's episode, because he's having fun just throwing me curveballs. I'm just like, we hyped up that dude show for you to say, so we're not playing that.
No, we're not going to play that. We're not going to play that. We're going to play another song. We're going to play the last song on the album. It's great. In fact, it was hard because I wanted to play another song, but I think this song really represents this new direction for Linkin Park, and I think Emily sounds amazing on it. It's the last song on the album. It's called Good Things Go.
Stare in the mirror and I look for now.
It's good, right?
Great. They don't have a miss on that album.
Not a miss. Not a miss. Yo, not a miss.
So
really.
why did you feel like this track was all inclusive of the direction that they're gonna go forward into the future with?
Like
what made this song stick out to you?
Like I said, it's really the whole project. I felt like they did a really good job of like balancing things that hark back to their heyday and the stuff that we can see more of. Like Two-Face, that's definitely Meteora, Linkin Park. Cut the Bridge, that's Minutes to Midnight, Linkin Park. Heavy as the Crown. No, sorry, Two-Face is Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park. That's One Step Closer Part 2, right? Heavy as the Crown is Meteora, Linkin Park. Emptiness Machine is somewhere in between there. But then you got these other songs like Overflow, this song Good Things Go, I Gave You Everything I Am. Those records just kind of like give you a peek into the future, and then you get to just really see Emily flex her vocal ability. Like even on this, I love the fact that she does these very clean notes, and then when she gets high, she throws that little grit in there, like she's about to scream, but she's not. And obviously, she's a great screaming artist in that way too. Again, we talked about Knock Loose and Poppy as far as that brother-sister dynamic Unsuffocate. I feel almost like, and I hope it's not too lofty of a term, it almost feels like, in a weird way, spirit-wise, Emily is like Chester's sister, long-lost sister. Yeah. Because I feel like she fits seamlessly into what Mike Shinoda has cooked up in the rest of the band. DJ Han, Brad Delson, Phoenix, all those guys. Like that. This is the Linkin Park sound. They have created a signature sound, and Emily just fits right in and just pushes it to a whole other place. So I wanted to play this because I felt like it's a great look at their musicianship, a great look at her vocal abilities, like the apex of it. Mike's doing this really cool thing where he's singing and then rapping and stuff, and I'm glad that Mike is getting more of the confidence to sing more on vocals, because we know he handles guitar and production and the rapping, and he's a great MC. And that was there, yeah. Right, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of rapping.
He did a lot of rapping, but it was a quieter voice usually.
Yeah.
It was usually like a very monotone but somber type of voice. But
when he starts to sing,
now he's starting to flex.
Yeah, he's trying to flex for sure. Yeah. And I think from what
you even see it on stage too.
Yeah, the chemistry, the vibe.
Where you're laughing and kind of like walking past each other and high-fiving each other.
Yeah, it's the joy.
It's a family. It's a family for me. You can feel it through their music.
Definitely. I'm gonna make sure I play that in this special by the time you That's really good. But yeah,
that is the song of the album, ladies and gentlemen. That, Two-Face, Heavy as a Crown, I think those are top 3.
Yeah.
He is really spoiling you guys. Like, not spoiling, sorry. He's what's the word? Torturing. He's torturing you guys. That's what he's doing right now. Yeah, for sure. So make sure if he doesn't play it, that you just spam his Instagram. Spam it. Go like, yo, you didn't play it. You suck. Where's the emptiness machine at? We don't know what happened. You said you would do it and you didn't.
You know what? What do you want? You want Two-Face? You want emptiness? What do you want?
You know the emptiness machine come in here, my son.
That's why I'm kind of not playing the racket low key.
Let you cut me off.
I do love Good Things Go. I do. If I had a chance to play both songs, I'd definitely play Good Things Go. But if I played them, that's
okay.
All right, cool.
Let's get to the end. This is like their uncle. Let's get to the end of the episode.
Yeah, and then I'll play it. And then,
I'll blur
shenanigans will happen.
See him dancing, jumping up and down.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Okay. All
right, cool.
I understand. No, he's not torturing you guys. He's being responsible.
I'm being responsible.
Yeah.
I'm being a responsible adult.
I wasn't being responsible.
Okay, cool. Now, we're going to move. Before we get to the 15, I got 2 more outliers to hit y'all with. I want to talk best R&B. I want to talk best R&B.
It's R&B. We switching the genre now.
Switching genres, right? Now, R&B is a genre of music that I didn't listen too much of this year. Not because there wasn't a fair amount of R&B to be listened to. I just was not in that space. But there's one artist that people kept talking about, and it was unescapable. And I happened to hear a snippet of a couple of songs, and I'm like, oh, this dude is nice. This dude nice. This dude
babe?
Yeah. So, the
no,
person,
not real big.
Right. The person we're talking about is Leon Thomas. Now, for those who don't know Leon Thomas, give us a quick backstory on who Leon Thomas is, for those who don't know.
I knew him from Victorious, but he was such, he actually did a crossover between Victorious and iCarly.
Oh, he did?
Yes, he did.
Okay, bet.
But he was, we were around the same age group, so growing up with him, it was almost like representation for me and my friends. I should say my friends and I. And he was just a natural talent, you can see it.
She said, take your time, what's the rush? Take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mother. I'm a dog, I'm a man. New crypto to come through, it's time to break it in. 32, let my pinch up.
Ariana Grande came out of Victorious, Victoria Justice, had a singing career out of that. I don't know who started iCarly, but she started doing some singles and some album work for a little while. But when it came to Leon, you could tell when he hit the piano in the episodes and how he was singing that he wrote those songs. You can usually tell with the other characters and other actresses on the show that something was written for them and they were just performing it. But there was something about the soul that Leon hit you with when he was young that you just knew he had a star in him. You already knew that.
Okay.
Conquest brought it back for me because I thought, like a lot of our child actors and actresses and singers and songwriters, he kind of just went ghost and he kind of disappeared.
Oh, nah. He's been working
Apparently. And I'm sitting here going like, wait, who? So I told Conrad, like, who? The boy with the dreads? That's all I said. The boy with the locks from Victorious.
My man.
He's like, yeah, that's Leon. I'm like, who? What I call him? LaCroix. I call him some. I don't know what I call him. I was like, who else? He was like, yeah, Leon.
Listen, my man.
He's writing Grammy hits apparently.
Yeah, writing Grammy joints with people like Ariana Grande and SZA. They work for Drake. They work for Ty Dolla $ign. He's one of them guys. He did work for Tony Braxton, Babyface. 31 years old.
So was I.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just hearing this for the second time, but when he told me the first time, I was shocked because I thought he was just,
That's what it is. So
I'm glad to hear that he's doing his thing.
No, beyond doing this thing.
Yeah.
So he dropped an album this year called Mutt. And this thing has set a firestorm for R&B lovers everywhere across the country, for good reason. So Ari has never heard his music, his new music yet. Hasn't heard any of his new music to this point. So hopefully she likes it. Hopefully she digs it. I'm gonna play one song. Maybe I might play two. I don't know. But I'm definitely playing this one because this is the song I heard first. I was like, yo. The track's called Vibes Don't Lie.
Flowers die and diamonds gone. You shouldn't have to try as long. Tell me, you might have known. We like Weezy and Styrofoam. She got a roll. Baby pushing G-class, getting big figures. She can buy whatever, but a real nigga. Vibes don't lie like the mountain. Real nigga give a fuck what he come out to. It's a difference over here. Arabian wood, smell me. She only drink water, she keep that pussy healthy. It's the kind of bad thing that feel good, love it. Good thing that feel bad when you get too much of it.
You're listening to the Quiet Storm.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Leon Thomas, ladies and gentlemen, Vibes Don't Lie off Mutt.
And again, like all good music, because I am a woman of exquisite taste. My son came in immediately.
Right.
As soon as he heard the song, my son came in. Yeah, you hear him. Yeah.
Beer, sky, got beer. Got beer, sky, got beer.
Yeah, he's doing it. No, he's doing it. Go ahead, baby.
The beer, sky, got beer.
Vibes don't lie to me. Ooh. So what'd you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I was sleeping. That's an amazing track.
Yeah.
It almost sounded like jazz.
Mm-hmm.
It had jazz elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
He bordered on soul with it.
No, he was all in the soul. He ain't border. He made a whole country out of that joint. He was all in that soul.
It's only because I'm trying to think inside the genre. I wouldn't put him in R&B like that. It sounded like a soul jazz club. You go into like a spot on Bloomfield Avenue and I'm telling where I'm at.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, like you're walking down the street on a summer afternoon, summer evening.
It's like mood, right? It's a mood, right? Yeah, I can't be listening to this right now, bro.
And then people you know how the jazz clubs be. You have some of the sisters with the afro,
yeah,
bandanas. You got some of the dudes with their beanies on, and
low key spot, you know?
Yeah, the lights are low.
Some nice.
Yes. See, and then maybe you have a hint of cigar in the air.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
my.
then you just see everyone going like, yeah. Who's this guy?
Right.
Who's this guy? Who's this young guy?
Who's this young man?
Who's this young brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was
man.
amazing.
Yeah, he got another record on here. He got a joint with Freddie Gibbs. He got a joint, Breaking Point. There's a joint he got with Wale.
What?
Yeah, listen, if I had more time, I'd play that too. And then there's the Mutt live performance. Yeah.
Wow.
The one with Wale is...
And he doesn't look any different from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, same guy.
Wow.
Yeah, man. See all the records he's been working on.
Good for you.
Yeah, man.
Good
So
for you.
shout out to
Happy
my man.
for you.
Yeah.
Happy for you. And I'm glad you're doing big things. That was an amazing record.
Yeah, I'm
Don't lie.
gonna put you on to the rest of
playlist.
it. Yeah.
It's on
The whole
playlist.
listen, Mutt needs the whole album.
The whole album you know?
Yeah, album's good.
The whole album be downloaded.
Yeah. So that's best R&B. Vibes Don't Lie off Mutt, the album from Leon Thomas. I think it's his second album actually. So yeah, in 2 years. I think he dropped one in 2023 and he obviously dropped one this year. So last category I want to hit before we get into the 15, it's another comeback, but we're talking best comeback hip hop. And funny enough, according to my list, this artist just missed being in the top 50. This is perfect segue, right? So there's a lot of artists who came out in the 80s and the 90s who put out music this year, right? The weird thing about hip hop music is that oftentimes when certain artists get to a certain age, it's like they are not as sharp as they once was. They're not as sharp as their look should be. Lyrically, it's almost like their prime was a certain time, and after a certain time, they're done. It's like, yo, we just want to hear the old hits from you, right? But I think artists like Common and Pete Rock, who dropped The Auditorium this year, did a pretty decent job of getting back on the scene. The album was great. It didn't make the top 20. That's how crazy this list was.
Okay.
The album was at least an 8 out of 10, but it did not make the top 20. Right?
Okay.
Snoop Dogg and Dre. What's their album? Missionary. 8 out of 10 album, in my opinion, did not make the top 20. Right? Who else? MC Lyte. Heard that album was great. A couple of people, Fat Joe dropped an album, so there was a lot of like OG artists, you know, who made a comeback this year, and I felt like that was only right because we just celebrated the 50th year of hip hop.
Yes.
However, there's one artist who I thought dropped a masterpiece this year, in my opinion. Honestly. And he'll be 57 next month. I'm talking about LL Cool J, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies love Cool J's. You know, ladies love Cool James. You know, we got to come off that. Yeah, ladies love Cool James. He dropped an album called The Force this year, and it's a phenomenal body of work. And I gotta play you this particular record because it also features the artist who's number 15. See how I'm segueing? Real crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, guys.
Yo, see how I'm segueing? Mm-hmm. Right, you know what I'm saying? So once we get off this, we get right into top 15, right? So we're gonna go with LL Cool J as soon as I kind of pull it up. In fact, let me do the fancy way. LL Cool J, Murdergram. Yeah. So,
Murdergram.
Beautiful. So this is off the album The Force. LL Cool J featuring Eminem, Murdergram. You've never seen this before, right?
I've never seen that.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that first.
Do you remember first time you heard the legend in leather? The career ended with the broke killer stuff to his fender. I'm on another bender, drunk off the power to make a coward surrender as I devour contenders. Talking foul of whoever, your head is about to get severed. Then about to with pleasure, I'm pouring out, I'm a redder. Homies, I won't forget it, so tap the bottle and pour it. Supermodels, I ain't going later on, it's like pouring reincarnation of the ripper. I give stitches and chest zippers. Cinderella's get propelled out their glass slippers. Time is ticking, giving ass whippers. How we keep the cash slipping.
What a super duper strange bang. I can't understand a single word you're saying. I think you have syrup brain. About to finish you like polyurethane.
All that molly shirt is drained, is fine, I'm fluid from your vertebrae. Just a murder gram, and I brought my nerve again. My shit fire, that is why you log on it like Duraflame. As far as bullet worms, I'm talking about farmers like insurance rates.
I just blew your girl away, but she on so much blowing lean. I call that fucking hoe Katrina. Somebody better give her a cane.
And that's on everything. She love my heavy chain, my yellow diamond shining. Got a whipping like lemon meringue. Slipping in front of the gate, she slipping inside of the range. Quick to go out with the bang, it's like I threw out a grenade. Once you pull up in this, really killing what we get. You feel me pulling up the skin, I really came to get it and deliver. Murder grams, turn over your ambulance. 30 bullets in advance, candlelight and crime fans. We gon' win it by a landslide up behind you, testing my rifle. Get blessings to my disciples, professional. I'm a sniper like 8 miles away. Me, I'm also doing murders with dirty robbers. Break them down and let them in the runners.
Unapologetic and I'm gonna cause a headache. Being all about the sanity, about the murder gram. And anyone and y'all can get it.
So you might as well forget it. Either way you will regret it. Cemeteries where you're headed. The message in the chorus, you bastards got nothing for us. The overlord is the rawest. I ain't talking about a renter car when I'm pulling the Taurus. It's Halloween, them candy bars and get you killed in the forest. We are lyrically lawless, stack of money, artists. Start to make you forget all that slick and shit that you thought of. Blow your mind with the sword of. Just when you thought it was safe, we busting at you from the rape. They hitting the don't ain't nothing sweet when we come in the
I
place.
say that you ain't fucking with wine. I do not mean kisses blue, but I got the potential to fucking flip when I mention with a penchant to come back with a vengeance. Jack the rip and rip it, just give into a sample of fucking straight like scissors do. Now when I hit the booth, I think of the days I opened. I was great before used to fly off the handle like a fucking just blew my call it plugging flowers. Cause I was so quick to pick it tulip.
Click, click.
Like it's Petunia, sick medulla. But thanks to Cool J, he created a monster. Spaghetti sauce and mozzarella on a tray full of pasta. You got a couple of motherfucking train killers on ya. And I'm just being this Frank Sinatra. I wanna be saying that I'ma keep this shit gangster as monsters. But when you got fanatics going so crazy, they mock you. Looking like organized crime because you can't get a mafia. And all your motherfucking enemies, they wanna off you. Like Hoffa, and dump your body in Lake Minnetonka. That's how you know you fucking saw and you came and you conquered.
Benny Bitty beat you stomping and making them bark.
Now women treat me like BDK, the king, and they feed me grams. Either way, I got more on my plate than all you beneath my face. So that I can see they create history. It's shaky, is it about to set it on you like a TV train? Man, I see the way people say I'm so evil. They fucking think that Timothy McVeigh and my DNA are exactly the same. But when I leave this game, things just ain't gonna be the same. But it's a need to change, and I'm the meter maid. Go ahead and crack a bottle.
Cause this is me and James. Y'all got that avocado. We the sociopaths, so we got your hoe on our lap. So we're going back to Cali so she can blow on our sax.
I don't think so.
Number one. Incredible. What?
Incredible.
Okay. But I have to get this out the way.
Talk to me.
How dare you put Eminem at 15?
I
better look at this.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Not show me his scale. I don't know criteria. I don't know scaling. But this just goes why Eminem is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Mm-hmm. Top 5, hands down. Mm-hmm. Ooh, those flows. Mm-hmm. And for LL to still spit like that, this has to be some of his best rapping I've ever heard. Because he never used to rap like... He used to rap that way, but it's almost like you can hear his elevation and like his growth from when was the last album he dropped before this?
13 years ago. Insane.
He's keeping up.
Not only just keeping up, he's down. Like he is. All through this album, he's rapping. You could never. But you can tell like the way how hip hop aged, like the flows and everything, kind of got a little bit more complex, and it got it's not always one flow you take throughout a whole song anymore. Now you're literally. Sometimes you accompany the beat, sometimes you're riding alongside it, sometimes you skirt and get off on a corner and park it. Like, the flow switches in there were insane. It was so many flow switches that when the instrumental changed, I had to again. And I was like, oh, now the instrumental's changing and I'm getting caught off of that because the production behind it is amazing. Yeah.
What?
Shout out to Q-Tip. Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest, one of the greatest hip hop producers ever, produced the whole album except for one song, including Murdergram from Eminem and LL.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
The production on this album.
The production on that song alone. If that song's to speak for the album, that's incredible.
Yeah, and then if it's not that, Q-Tip is on some Afro-futuristic sounds on the rest. I'm gonna play this. It's
like I love that. Like that to me is like old. That's the perfect blend to me.
Yeah,
of what old school and new school should sound like.
Right,
and I think that you got the two best people to do it.
Right, and the cool thing about the video, the callbacks to the album cover for Bigger and Deffer for LL Cool J, and then M's known for wearing like a lot of like rap t-shirts, and he pretty much like gave homage and homage to Big Daddy Kane's Long Live the Kane, like literally getting in costume and everything. It's brilliant stuff. So I wanted you to see. I know you never saw it.
We're gonna take her back to blow on our sax, and then
drop the going back to Cali at the end.
Yeah, but have her blow on her saxophone. Like it's not like that. It's not one of those. But I love that. I love that. Yeah. That was amazing.
Great
record.
Incredible. So Ari's stunned because she's thinking.
Listen, I was smiling from ear to ear.
I know you were.
Song, I was smiling. You're gonna see him post.
I know.
I was smiling from ear to ear.
I knew you would get a kick out of that, man.
And then when they started bopping, I was right along with them.
Right. Crazy record, man.
You're giving me all additional playlist things. Like,
Listen, this is gonna get scary for you, right? I'm just letting you know right now.
No, the scary song was the first one. I think I've been smiling after. I went from extremely worried. And tense. To smiling from ear to ear now. So I think as long as we're going in that direction, we're good.
I have a lot of range, ladies and gentlemen.
He really does so much.
So listen,
I've been doing this for so long. Like you have the expertise in this, so I do not expect anything less from you.
Yep. So that was Murdergram.
Shocking all.
Murdergram Off the Forest, which I gave a 9.46 out of 10. So that's the rating. That's again. 2024 reminds me of 1994 because there was so many classic albums that dropped that year. You just had to like arrange it. You know what I'm saying? Like that 94, 95, like a multitude. This was not a slow year for hip hop at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get right to it.
Yo, Quest, man, it's been 7 years. I know you've been working on your album, but you gotta get the kids what they want.
Right.
Yo, you gotta give them that little money bag, baby, dirt.
What?